Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So it's Thursday. Actually, it's Wednesday. Although tomorrow, Thursday, we'll have a webinar. So there's all these. Just seems like there's all these fake gurus coming out of the work. And a lot of time they band together and getting these fake guru webinars, and you'll see kind of the ones that are the most common that I talk about: Pace Morby, Chris Crone, Ryan Pineda, all together. And there's not a lot of real estate experience there. There really isn't. I have never really seen any of those three guys do anything that would demonstrate to me that they really know much about what's going on. Anyways, sideline on that. But let's talk about real estate and what to do in tough times. I just bought another property yesterday, actually. I shouldn't say bought. I just put it under contract. This is a house, 2,455 square feet. I'll show it to you. Hey, you know what? Hey, son, actually, you got that video? Why don't we could show that house, actually. If you send me that, we can upload it off the phone. You'd have to, once you airdrop it over here. So I want you to know, this is, I've bought 4 houses, I think, in the last 6 months. And I can tell you that there's just no matter what the times are, it just brings about different opportunities. And I bought a house for the one I bought yesterday. I got for $325,000, and if I use Zillow as a reference, it's got a price of $476,000 to $500,000, and it looks pretty accurate. I compared it to everything around the area, and pretty confident that's kind of what it is. It's not my kind of home. It's 2,455 square feet, and it's got one of those kind of backyards that you can open the sliding glass door and touch the back wall. But there's hundreds of them there, and some people eat it up. I don't, but it just is what it is. But I'll share the interior of this thing. Well, maybe not, son. I forgot. There might be a little bit too much private stuff going on in there. Tell more about how you got them. Yeah, well, crypto, that's kind of what I teach in the class, is how to get these things. And because it's pure gold. It really is. So just think about this. And this is one of the defining differences between myself and like a Pace Morby and a Chris Crone and, of course, a Grant Cardone, who really knows nothing about real estate. But, Chris Crone, he's out there just he's scouring for emails so he can, try to talk people into, pulling money out of their IRA or 401k, or take a lien on the house, and then if you don't have enough money to do that, then he's got his sales guys or more repetition trying to get $997 out of you or $5,000 out of you. Believe me, I've seen the emails and complaints from people that feel a little bit jaded. And you can also go to Reddit and read up on all these guys. It's not pretty. Hey Keith, hey, you still cutting hair? I hope you're doing well, Keith. But it's kind of cool. Like one of my guys that's in the class, in fact, I'll show you him specifically, and I can even show you the property. Let me see here. If you go here, by the way, you can, at the top here, take a moment, sign up for the webinar right there. In fact, I'm going to do one 7 p.m. tomorrow, right here. Just click on webinar. Super simple. Name and an email. So I can send you a link. You can put your phone in there too, so I can text you a link in case it gets down to last minute. But I just added this success page. Now take a look at this success page.
Since getting in contact with you and your mentor,
all these guys have made, hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars, and you can hear their stories. You can watch that, and I urge you to do so, because if you're not investing, but anyhow, back to. It's just the way to go. But so this property that I just got, and this is actually me looking at somebody else's property, one of my students. But Rich in the class, he's made over $1.3 million or $1.7 million, something like that. But I know this building that he bought, that he just got under contract to sell, he paid $1.7 million, and he's got it sold for $2.05 million. So he's going to make $350. Liam in the class made $360 just recently. Chris in the class made, I think, somewhere around. He just made another $100,000 on a lot, and he's kind of following my footsteps, kind of, and that's kind of my goal, is for everybody to kind of follow my footsteps to success. But each of them's taken a path. Some are going after land. Got Josh, who's made $1 million now, out in the desert, and Chris is kind of following that on the land after making quite a bit of money on houses. And it's just such a wonderful life. Keith wrote, one guy did a video and had Tom's book on his desk in the background. Oh, that's funny. Really. Put it like this: most of the guys are watching and reading Tom's book and not giving it. Is that right, Keith? Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's funny. I believe it. I do believe it. I totally believe it. Listen, you can't pull experience out of your ass. And guess what? You can't mentor people from a book. If you haven't lived it, you're not feeling it. If you haven't lived it, you're not feeling it. And I'm just telling you, you can see the difference in success stories between my people and anybody out there. In fact, they're almost like non-existent. I didn't even consider it. I mean, go look at Pace Morby's success page on Sub2. It's laughable. Not $1 of profit mentioned in that whole book, or in that whole success thing that he's got on his page. It's really terrible. I've been doing residential resale with my dad for about 4 months and absolutely love being a realtor. You wrote an amazing book, sir. Oh, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And, listen, it's like if you want to learn Spanish, go down to Mexico for 4 months or something like that, and you'll be immersed in the culture, and you'll be speaking Spanish very quickly. Well, just like what you're doing, getting your real estate license, it's a great way to immerse yourself in the business. Now, first you're going to be watching people, making deals, and it's kind of like I've got a lot of realtors in my class too, by the way, and they're tired of watching the investors make all the money, and now they're in on it, and it's a very, very cool thing. But you're doing the right thing. I'm glad to hear you're in. You got your license, and you're doing that with your dad. Because, and here another thing you consider, by the way, and this is every realtor out there, by the way, there's a lot of emotion wrapped around houses and stuff like that. Well, you don't have that with buildings, commercial, industrial, that sort of thing. So a really good thing to do is to be a leasing agent. If it just might something you want to look at, because if you're a leasing agent, not for houses, but for commercial and industrial, because these guys just go, oh, right location, we'll take it. There's like not a lot of pause, or not a whole lot of overthinking on it. No emotion. It's got to be logical. It's business. That's what's really lovely about it, and dealing with those kind of people. But the other thing is, you run into more guys like me that own hundreds of thousands of square feet of industrial, commercial, resident, and residential. But you'll learn a lot, and you can make 4% on those leases, and it's a really good way to go. And it's easy and it's quicker than waiting for a deal to close. So, this one deal, I'll tell you a little bit about this deal that I just got. So like I say, it's a 2,455 square foot house, and the person's in a tough spot, and I got referred to him, and it's a gal, husband left her and that type of thing. And so I told her, I go, look, I'm in this business to make money, and I don't want to, I said, I'd rather just help you do the right thing to get the most out of it. And so I said, and I told her, I said, look, do this. I said, just list this thing, get it on the market, and there were some issues with the inside of the house. Not bad, just no carpet in the 4 bedrooms. It needed a little bit of tape and float work, and a couple of seams and a little tiny bit of tile damage. Not terrible, but she would make a lot more money if she just listed it and put it on the market. And so I told her, why don't you do that? And then she says, so you don't want it? I go, I'm not going to pay, what you want. And it's already a decent deal, what you're offering. But, there's just some, but I'm here to make money. I'm not here just to buy a house and move in. And she just said, well, how about, and then she lowered the price even more. I turned out, I'm not going to disclose too much, but she had a major motivation to get this thing wrapped up and sold very quickly. And so we're going to close in less than 2 weeks. But anyhow, in the end, I bought this for $325. And like I say, according to Zillow, it's probably right in there about $475, $450 at a low. But there's $100,000 plus, on this thing to be made. And, it's not a big it's not uncommon. And like the deal that I did a month ago before this one, I got the place for $252,000, and it shows a value of I think 424. So that one there's a good 150, and then the two prior to that, same thing, not exact same thing, but about 110 and maybe 90 on the other. But so 90, 110, there's 200, and now another 250, 275. So I've made almost $500,000 on the last four properties that I bought. Now I haven't realized it yet because I'm going to sit on these. That's kind of part of what I've been doing lately. Is I've been acquiring more and more residential properties, and just going to sit on them a year, at least. And then if I want to sell them, then I'll probably sell them all collectively, maybe to individuals. But what I'll do is I'll roll them into a 1031, and I'll do a reverse 1031, which if you don't know what that is, most people don't. Look that up, and you can. I did a video on that. You can watch that as well. Keith wrote, it's hard finding the real guys. People can make money from your book just by quoting and paraphrasing. It's crazy what they do it. Yeah, well, it's very difficult. Can't really replicate the stories exactly. But yeah, that's it's a shame, man. It really is a shame that people will go out there and deceive and claim to have experience they don't have. But really, there's only so much you can do that way. You really can't. You got to live it. You really got to live it. But anyways, yeah, if you send me a link to that, Keith, if you would, or anybody that's got a link to these guys, have my book in the background, or feel like they're plagiarizing, I'd like to see it. So anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything in particular? I've actually had quite a few people out in Canada sign up here lately. I thought that was kind of interesting, because really so much of what makes a deal, it happens everywhere in the country, and even there may be some differences in how things happen, but 80-90% of it is still valid for making money here, in any place. It's negotiating and bargaining, and the upcoming, the election, I'm really looking forward to a new administration, and I just think it's going to be so much better, and I don't think that the woman that's running has got a chance. And she's certainly she's just unbelievably fake, flip-flops on everything, and I find that a little frustrating and disturbing that the media doesn't do anything about it, doesn't call her out on any of this stuff. And I'm sure most of you, hopefully, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, we're already doomed. Anyways, let's see here. So. There's a property, and I'm seeing this happen more. I'm not going to show you the specific property because I'm actually working on it. But I've got a property that I actually got under contract, and then after I got a little bit deeper into the details, I'd still buy it, but it'd have to be about $700,000 less than the deal that I made, or that I originally offered. And then and had other people, I got in at like $4.5 million. And there was guys coming in at $5 million, so they're kind of wanting me to leave and get out of the way. And I said, okay, sure, you can have it. I don't think it's going to close, and it didn't. And now that's back on the market, and that's really one of the cool things. In the sense you learn. Listen, I'm really good at taking away the guy that's in front of me, taking him out. And a lot of times, deals will get frustrated with somebody to come in and they'll outbid you, but you just kind of get a sixth sense on just basically when people aren't going to make it or not. Like one of the things people are surprised, but I love it when there's a group. When I'm personally just me investing, and I'm bidding against a group. The realtors, I'm telling you, many realtors, they'll learn eventually, but if they haven't already learned, a group is a nightmare. A group means there's a bunch more individuals that can change their mind, back out, not put their money in. And, in fact, I'll show you a property I nailed that was just exactly that situation. And let me get back over here. And you'll see some of this stuff in the webinar, by the way. Let me see, where's that thing? And like, listen, anybody want to talk about anything, land, whatever. I've made money with just every kind of property you can think of. In fact, on the left here, you've got everything. You've got strip centers, industrial land, industrial warehouse, apartments, many houses, acreage, food parks, trailer parks, all kinds of stuff. But let me show you the one I was just about to tell you about, and I'm already starting to forget which one we're talking about. Oh, yeah. This will get us close. Yeah, I got a bunch of property in this area already. But and somebody remind me, what were we talking about exactly just now? Well, hey, MF Doomer, take a look at this roof here. Can you see that? Can you read it? Yeah, I've actually met and talked to Mr. Trump and Don Jr., Rudy Giuliani. Really great guys. I'll tell you one thing about Mr. Trump is when you're talking to him, and I got to talk to him just like I'm facing the screen right now, he just listens to every single word. He's just focusing on everything you say, and he is responding in detail to everything you said. A very, very impressive man. Man, we need him. Boy, we need him. So I think I was talking about the food park. I don't know. Anyways, one of the things you'll come away with when you get in my class and what you'll learn is that there is no bad real estate. It's just bad deals. And so be sure to, get in to the webinar tomorrow if you can. If you can, you should, or sign up for it. At least, worst case, I'll send you a recorded version. Or I'm doing more of these webinars. I never expected that I would be changing so many lives by sharing what I know in real estate. But it's the success is undeniable, and I've got the testimonials to prove it. And it's not shoulda, coulda, or probable profits, as I Pace Morby's like to say, oh, he made $5,000. That means he's going to make $600,000 this year. It's so stupid. He's done 74 deals, and he hasn't mentioned how much money he lost or made on a one. In fact, let's look that up there. Yeah, Mr. 74. See if we can find it. Yeah, let's just watch this for the hell of it.
You've bought 70.
So, let me get my face out of here real quick. Put myself way over here. So, watch this. And somebody had made some comments earlier, but I'll follow up with this. So this is a video I did a while back.
74 houses? Yes and no.
Which means no, of course. Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So today we're going to talk about Pace Morby. You've seen a few videos on him. I think he's kind of a bit of an exaggerator, a little bit of a misleader. He talks about probable profits.
Probably $600,000, $700,000 this year, and Josh is going to make probably $150,000 to $200,000 a year. As a 19-year-old, Josh, and
did you hear that? As a 19-year-old, he's probably going to make some money. Isn't that amazing? It's just absolutely fantastic. Oh, hey, Chris. Hey, Clint. Oh, hey, Chris, I got to tell you, I just got another house. I got one over in Round Rock, 325, according to Zillow. It looks like it's worth 476, something in there. I actually drove by your place the other day. I think you're back. I don't know. But and Chris actually, by the way, is great. Chris got in the mentorship about 3.5 years ago now, and he quit his job within a year, and he's making hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars a year. All right, and he picked up another vacant lot. He just made $100,000 on a single lot, and now he's got another one. And looking forward to catching up with you for sure. And Clint here is also in the class. He and his wife are husband-wife team, and he just, he picked up a nice little fixer-upper, and he did it right, and he's got it sold. He's got it, sold pretty quickly, and I'm just waiting for it to close. Unless maybe it did. You let me know, Clint. Also, by the way, your classmate, Chris and Clint, Rich Ferradino, he's one of the first people that actually make $1 million on a piece of land in my class. He's not the only one, but he's one of the first, among the first. And he also, he'd rolled that into buying a industrial building, a 15,000 square foot industrial building. I think he paid $1.7 million for that. Got a really good deal on it, and he just sold it for $2.05 million, or he has it under contract. So that's great. You got it under contract. Today or tomorrow. You don't have it yet. Yeah, good. I understand. Good. Anyways, I wish you the best. I hope you get that thing closed and we can talk about it. Again, you know what I mean? It's just, this stuff just frustrates the shit out of me, and it should you too. Those of you that are actually interested in information. But listen to this again. Probable profits.
Probably $600,000, $700,000 this year, and Josh is going to make probably $150,000 to $200,000 a year.
So you know that he's gonna make probably, and he's gonna make probably. It means absolutely nothing. And then this guy, Mr. 74.
As a 19-year-old, Josh and Kevin are partners on this deal. They assigned it to me. They made $10,000.
Not very, very vague. That's why I call this Pace Morby Vagonomics, right? I'm a mentor, and this business of mentoring. There's a lot of scam guys out there, right? I'm not even going to say that Pace is particularly fits. Well, he acts scammy is the problem, and very vague. And these are the things that scammers do. So he's kind of acting scammy. Clint wrote, not yet. Had the appraisal yesterday. Should close on the 23rd. That's great. That's going to be here soon. Have you found anything else, Clint, that you want to buy with the money that you take from out of that deal? Like I say, Clint just in the class. I don't even think it's been 6-7 months, and he's already, he's about to close on the house, the sale. He's gonna make some money. He wrote, not yet. Had the appraisal yesterday. Okay, you hadn't got anything yet to buy yet. And so this is what's so neat. It's these, I reached. Listen, there's hardly anybody that I ever reach out to on YouTube because it's filled with frauds, and that's the thing. The frauds stick together, and because they have to. They have to. I mean, who else is going to cheer them on? Who else is going to, kind of qualify them, or you know what I mean? Because none of them would want to talk with me because I'd be talking specifics and everybody knows me, that knows that everything I buy. Everything I talk about is based on experience. All these properties you see, I own all these properties that you see in this area, and this is a pretty good stretch. There's tens of millions just in this picture here, and maybe 100 million actually. If you set your standards low. Like I say, why do they call you Mr. 74? And he said he's done 74 deals. And then he doesn't mention the specifics. The only thing he does say is that it's not all real estate deals. And what he also did not say is that maybe some of those deals were referral fees. Because a lot of the people in Pace Morby's class that I've talked to and you can even see it, the wear down. And they've described others. They get worn down because they get upselled to death, number one. And then after that, when they're not doing well, they're always told to try harder. And then after that, they say, well, you can get a referral fee. And so then maybe that becomes the business because there's another guy they call Mr. 84. Where's Mr. 84? Let's see if we can find Mr. 84 in here. And this is silly too. When I looked up this guy, it was really a joke. So I did another video. There we go. Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So today I am asking the public to help me challenge Pace Morby. Yeah, we'll restate that. I'm challenging you, Pace. Chris just wrote, 205-acre subdivision we should discuss, Tom, out of my league, but might be a good fit for me. Maybe. Yeah, sure, Chris, let's take a look at it. Chris has done real well with the properties that he's purchased, and I don't think I'm giving away too much that you're concentrating on land right now, Chris. And I'm cryptic, and I try to honor everybody's privacy in every way. But this little book you see right here, this is my first $1 million made basically between 1981 and 1989, and a ton of land in there. I did a lot of land, and what I had told Chris when he mentioned it to me, what he was doing, I said, yeah, that's great, but when things start to go to pot like they are right now, money tightens up, and you'll see what goes, right? You're not going to lose the roof over your head. You might lose the car. You might get rid of the sports car. In fact, I bought several sports cars. In fact, I just bought another Mercedes because of the times are starting to get tough. And I got a little GLC 63S, real nice little hot rod Mercedes, and I got it under market because that's the first thing to go. You get rid of the electives, right? The stuff you don't need. You got to have a roof over your head. You got to get your kids through school, that sort of thing. And yeah, Chris, we'll definitely talk. I'll call you when I get done here. But this is the thing. When things go bad, the people will say, you know what, that vacation, that property, that land that we bought to build our dream home, or that land that we bought to put the vacation home, or that land that we bought just as speculation. Well, I sold a bunch of my property on terms, right? Because that's what land is the most common thing to get owner financing on, because many of the banks won't touch it anyways. And so it just kind of gets forced that way. And it's a beautiful thing. But what can happen is when times get tough, people walk and they stop paying on the notes, and they just realize, you know what, I can't afford it. I'm worried about the future, which everybody should be. Anyways, boy, Chris, you are sharing a lot of information there, but definitely we can talk. Looking forward to it. So, is there any sewer, Chris? Anyways, yeah, so I'm getting here into the notes here. But, hey, anyways, look, it's real, folks. No bullshit. I talk very much in specifics. In fact, if one of you guys want to call in, you can, by the way. Chris or Clint or anybody, if you can. I'm going to cut it here pretty short. But, there's just so much opportunity out there. And even in bad times, it just presents different opportunities, and unfortunately some of it's hardship. We keep talking about base, but, he talks about 600,000 people are underwater in their mortgages. And then, I hear about people and then he talks about buying properties and paying more than asking price in order to get people to, carry, for zero. The problem with that is on day one, you're overcommitted on the price, so you can't cut it and make a profit because you're already upside down on day one. It's really stupid. It really is. It's terrible advice to give somebody new. Hey, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'm always late asking for that stuff, but it helps channel, and commenting also helps. And I'd love to hear it. Farmland. Yeah. Well, I will definitely follow up and talk to you on that, Chris. But anyways, just wanted to share that, and I'll be putting out another video here soon. And anyways, as far as the webinar goes, try to get in tomorrow. So you can see the links below, flipanythingusa.com/webinar. And I'll tell you, I wish those of you that if you have money, and even if you don't have money, let me just say, I started with nothing. It was the terms that allowed me to make things happen. Now, but get a skill, start saving your money, and I don't let anybody in the class that has less than $20,000 in the bank. I mean, and it's not that I don't cost $20,000, but you need to have a little cash in the bank. I don't take you as seriously, right? In other words, I understand if you're a kid and you don't have any money, but I don't understand if you're an adult and you don't have any money. I don't understand it. because you have the capacity to save. And if you don't have that discipline, then, there may be a problem. So I'm kind of hard in that respect. I'm very brutally honest in some respects. But if you have money and you don't have it invested, or in something good, by the way, in something really good, then you're making a mistake. So, anyways, and I got plenty of students that would attest to that because they've changed their lives majorly. And Chris is one of them. And you can see his testimonial, by the way. You can actually see Chris. If you go to Flip Anything You Would Say, he's in the success stories. You'll see him in here. Actually, probably in here more than once.
Since getting in contact with you and your mentorship, Bob?
Auto plays every time, but that's Jerry. He made over $2 million. Probably $2.5 million equity on day one. Beautiful property across the street from a Burlington Code factory, and 29,000 square feet of rental, commercial rental. It's a beautiful thing. He got a hell of a deal, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Could not happen to a nicer guy. Thanks, Chris. Tom is a fantastic man, and I appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, Chris is a fantastic guy. Got a beautiful family, and it's just wonderful to see. He went to Colorado recently, and he said he bought a ticket one way for him and the family because he didn't know when he was going to come back. His wife's got a gig that she can do online, and he's an investor, and he can do that. He can take breaks like that now. Being a realtor is great for learning the market. You will know deals when you see them. Yep. MF Doomer, I'm 25, only been a realtor for about 4 months. Need more savings and experience. Yeah, hey, but that's perfect. No, you're doing the right thing, man. You're doing a great job. And so just do it, man. Just save it. In fact, if you can live at home, maybe live at home and just save that too, if you can work that. But really looking forward. I'm glad you're smart enough to recognize the opportunity, MF, because trust me, you could be in a crowd and you might be the only one that is actually that smart. The masses are the asses. I tell that to my students all the time, and if they didn't know it, they found out I'm right. So, anyways, hey, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll do another one here real soon. And again, please come visit me at the webinar and sign up, and you get on my mailing list. And nobody's ever going to pest you other than to get into a webinar, but they're not going to call you, that's for sure. But you will get a text or an email, whatever you choose, and we'll talk to you soon.
And listen, time is on a mission to eliminate all the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. He'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and flip anything. USA, go.